have a question for men and women. What is up with all of the pretty women being single? The most gorgeous women, like stunning, body proper, face card on, but they're single. What is it? I really get so confused when I see a beautiful woman with a nice body, with a nice face, and she's by herself.
It's simply because men aren't settling for less. And I know this sounds weird when talking about a really attractive woman. How are you settling for less with a woman that's a 10 out of 10 when it comes to physical looks? But I'm also talking about other factors. You'll notice that with a lot of these attractive women is that they have not developed other skills to maintain relationships. And they haven't needed to because they are simply really attractive, but it more so shows as the relationship goes on. When you talk about things like communication skills, nurturing skills, understanding your man, not just having the spotlight on you at every single moment. They haven't really developed that because they haven't needed to, simply because they're attractive. And it normally isn't an issue at the beginning of a relationship, but as the relationship goes on, it becomes more and more clearer, and men aren't really settling anymore. But at the same time, I could also blame men for this, because men let a lot of shit slide when a woman is attractive. Whether she's narcissistic, whether she's mean to you, whether she doesn't show you any interest, a lot of men let it slide simply because she's attractive, and that leads her to not developing any of these skills. So nowadays, if a woman wants to keep a relationship long term, you need to have more than just looks.
Like, y'all have it easier because women have to be attractive. Y'all don't. You could be
So I think it says a lot more about women than it says about men and the claims that she made. Saying, oh, he's ugly, but at least he makes a lot of money, so you will still get women. It says more about women than it says about men. But that's a whole different conversation. Imagine being born and then you get society, a bunch of women telling you that you won't have value until you make X and Y and Z amount of dollars. You know the hard work and dedication that it takes to make that amount of money. It don't just land in your hands. Where's the easy? Pretty boy privilege is not a thing when it comes to men. The most that pretty boy privilege will get you is some comments under your Instagram stories and maybe some women in your DM. But you can't be a pretty boy and broke. It's not a thing, right? You automatically become unattractive. However, women can be broke and be pretty because it will still give them that privilege. Because men are visual creatures. You will still get ahead of the line in clubs, get free meals, get free drinks. It's so freaking easy. So where's the easy? You have to constantly spend money on dates that may or may not go anywhere because women want free meals. Where's the easy?
If my boyfriend asks me to marry him, I'm going to say no. Why am I going to say no? Because we started dating 5 years ago. And then a month after we started dating, his friend started dating his girlfriend. And they had a kid after 2 years of being together. We had our daughter after 4 years of being together. His friend pays all the bills in their home. We pay 50-50. His friend got engaged last year. And, we haven't gotten engaged. His friend got married this past weekend. And the crazy thing is that when we started talking, he said, if we last a year, I'd like to get married and try for a baby. So a year came by, nothing. Then he said, well, maybe after 3 years, let's look at it like a lease payment. You get 3 years. 3 years came by. Nothing. Then he said maybe 5. 5 is a big deal. Bet. 5 came. Nothing.
All of this comparison of what is going on in his friend's relationship and how fast or slow they are moving in their relationship and whether you should be at the same pace, that's going to be a reason for failure in this relationship if it hasn't already failed. Whether or not you should be happy in your relationship should be determined based off what he's doing for you and how he's making you feel, not what someone else is doing for their partner in the relationship and whether your man is doing the same. And either way, if you're so certain that you are not going to say yes to him if he asks you to marry him, why are you still with him? Why are you wasting everyone's time? If you know that you're not going to marry him, if you know that you're going to say no if he has to ask you, leave the relationship. Just tell him that, you know what, I don't think we can be committed to each other, and go. Because if he's going to propose in another year's time, it means that you've wasted an entire year with a man that you absolutely knew you weren't going to settle down with. Make up your mind and focus on your relationship, not others' relationships.